All right, so we're going to be talking about AI today,
Okay.
but specifically, you know how science fiction is always like throwing these crazy ideas at us?
Yeah.
Hive minds and robots that can learn really quickly.
Right.
Well, what's interesting is that a lot of those like far-fetched concepts are kind of bubbling up in real-world research right
Yeah,
now.
that's true.
And so today we're going to be diving into one that's really interesting. It's called collective AI.
Yeah, collective AI. That's a great topic.
Have you heard about this?
I have. It's fascinating. It's about moving past the idea of individual AI, like one computer,
Right.
to networks of AI that can all learn and share knowledge together.
Okay, so not just like one powerful computer, but a bunch of them all working together.
Exactly like a community of
Okay.
intelligent computers all talking to each other and sharing information.
So kind of like a team of experts all working together
Yeah.
to solve a problem. Okay, cool. Well, the material we have for you, The Learner, comes from a perspective paper that was published in Nature Machine Intelligence.
Oh, wow. Nature machine intelligence. That's a pretty big deal.
It is. It's a well-respected journal,
Yeah.
and it was highlighted by Loughborough University.
Loughborough. Okay.
Yeah, and what makes it even more interesting is that the people behind it are all leading computer scientists from places like Loughborough, MIT, and Yale.
Wow, so these are some of the top people in AI.
Yeah, for sure.
That's really exciting.
Yeah, so they're all actively looking into this.
That's great.
So today our mission is to break down collective AI with you, the learner, and really try to uncover its potential to change things and also explore the safeguards that these experts are thinking about.
Yeah, the safeguards are important.
They are really important because, whenever you start talking about AI that can think for itself, people get a little bit nervous.
Rightfully so.
Rightfully so.
Yeah,
So we want to make sure we understand that too.
definitely.
Okay, so to get started, I think it's helpful to think about some of the ways that interconnected intelligence has been portrayed in popular culture.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And one example that comes to mind, and actually the researchers themselves even reference this, is Star Trek.
Oh, Star Trek. Yeah,
Yeah, specifically the Borg.
right. The board.
So for those who haven't seen Star Trek, the Borg are these cybernetic beings that are all connected by a collective consciousness.
Right, so they share thoughts and experiences like everything.
Everything, yeah, through this huge network.
Wow, it's like a giant internet of minds.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
It is a little creepy though, right?
Yeah, it is a little creepy.
Like if you think about it too much.
Yeah, it's like what happens when they decide they don't like us anymore.
Exactly, and the researchers who are exploring collective AI, they know about these fears.
Right, they're not naive to that.
No, they're not.
Okay, so that brings us to a really important point. This
Yeah.
isn't about creating some kind of giant, all-powerful AI that controls everything.
Right, that's not the goal here.
Not at all. The scientists are really focused on building in safeguards and creating what they call a democracy of AI agents.
A democracy of AI agents.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So this means that no one AI is in control. It's more about them all working
So
together.
the distributed system.
Exactly.
Okay.
So let's dive into what collective AI actually is.
Okay, let's do that.
The basic idea is that you have all these AI agents that can learn and adapt on their own.
Okay, that makes sense.
But the really cool part is when they're all connected in a network.
Right, so they can all share what they've learned.
Exactly. It's like imagine each AI is out there in the world learning new things,
Yeah.
solving problems in its own way.
Right.
But then instead of keeping all that knowledge to itself, it shares it with everyone else in the network.
Like a giant brainstorming session.
Kind of, yeah.
That's really powerful.
It's like a constant upgrade for every AI in the system.
Yeah, it's like they're all constantly learning from each other.
Exactly. And the term hive mind comes up a lot when people talk about collective AI.
Hive mind. Yeah, I've heard that before.
It's a good way to think about how quickly they can adapt and respond to things.
Right, because they're all working together.
Right. But it's important to remember that there isn't one central brain controlling everything.
Right, it's not like the Borg.
No, it's more like a bunch of really smart ants working together in a colony.
Okay, that's a good analogy.
Each one has its own job, but they're all working towards the same goal.
Okay, that makes sense.
So let's get practical here. What are some of the real-world benefits that the scientists are talking about?
Okay, so there are a lot of possibilities, but let's start with cybersecurity.
Okay.
Imagine an AI that's part of a collective AI network, and it detects a new kind of cyber attack.
Okay, that's scary.
It is scary, but in a traditional system, that AI would have to analyze the attack, figure out what to do, and then respond.
Right, which takes time.
Exactly.
Mhm.
But in a collective AI, the moment that attack is detected, the information is shared with every other AI in the network instantly.
So it's like everyone gets a warning at the same time.
Yes, exactly.
Wow, that's
It's
amazing.
like having a global immune system for the internet.
So instead of one AI trying to fight off an attack on its own, the whole network is ready to defend itself.
Precisely.
That's incredible.
And this idea isn't limited to just the digital world.
Oh, really?
The researchers also talk about disaster response.
Oh, wow. Like, what if there's an earthquake or something?
Exactly. Imagine a bunch of robots are sent to help after an earthquake.
Okay.
It's a chaotic situation. Things are
Mm.
changing constantly.
Great.
But if one robot finds a safe path or learns a better way to search for survivors, that knowledge is immediately shared with all the other robots.
Wow. So they're all learning from each other in real time?
Exactly.
That's
It
incredible.
could save so many lives.
Yeah, that's really powerful.
And then there's the idea of personalized medical agents.
Personalized medical agent, that sounds like science fiction.
It does, but imagine an AI that has access to all the latest medical research, but it also knows everything about your health.
Like your DNA and stuff.
It's exactly your medical history, your lifestyle, everything.
Wow.
And then in a collective AI, this agent could learn from other agents that are treating other patients.
So it's like having a doctor that's learning from the experiences of thousands of other doctors.
Exactly. It could lead to much better diagnoses and treatment plans.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's like having a team of the best doctors in the world, all working together to help you.
So we've got cybersecurity that can react instantly, disaster response that learns in real time, and personalized medicine that's tailored to each individual.
And that's just the beginning.
Yeah, this idea of shared intelligence could revolutionize so many things.
Absolutely.
It's really mind-blowing.
It is. But to understand how this could actually happen, we need to look at the technology behind it.
Okay, so how would they actually build something like this?
Well, the researchers say that collective AI builds on advancements in machine learning.
Machine learning, okay.
And it's worth noting that this research is being funded by DARPA.
DARPA, that's the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, right?
That's right. They fund a lot of cutting-edge research.
So if DARPA is involved, it must be pretty serious.
Yeah, they're not known for funding projects that aren't going anywhere.
So what are the key technological advancements that are making collective AI possible?
Well, there are two big ones. The first is lifelong learning.
Lifelong learning, what does that mean?
So current AI models, they learn a lot during their training phase.
Right.
But once they're deployed, their ability to keep learning is kind of limited.
So they're like students who cram for a test and then forget everything afterwards.
Yeah, kind of, but collective AI is different.
Okay.
It imagines AI agents that are constantly learning and adapting based on new data and experiences.
So they're more like doctors who are always reading the latest research and learning from their patients?
Exactly. They're always evolving.
Wow, that's really cool.
It is. And the second key development is the creation of universal protocols and languages for AI systems.
Okay, so this is like a way for different AI systems to talk to each other.
Exactly. They need a common language to share knowledge.
That makes sense.
The researchers call it recycling knowledge.
Recycling knowledge. I like that.
It means that AI systems can build on each other's learning.
So instead of starting from scratch every time, they can use the knowledge that's already been gained?
Precisely. And Dr. Soltogio, one of the lead researchers, argues that the way we're building AI now with these massive proprietary models is unsustainable.
Okay, why is that?
Well, they're expensive to develop, they require a ton of data, and they don't really have lifelong learning capabilities.
Right.
He thinks that these collaborative knowledge-sharing collectives are a much better way to go.
Okay, I can see why that would be more efficient.
It is, and it's more scalable too.
So you could potentially have thousands or even millions of AI agents all working together.
Exactly.
Wow, that's pretty mind-blowing.
It is, and Dr. Soltogio compares it to the way human knowledge has evolved.
Oh, interesting. Tell me more about that.
Well, he says that humans haven't learned in isolation.
Right, we've always shared ideas and built on each other's knowledge.
Exactly, and he thinks that AI could do the same thing.
So by creating these democratic and collaborative collectives, we could see a huge leap forward in AI capabilities.
That's the idea.
It's a pretty compelling vision.
It is, and it's not just Dr. Soltogio who thinks so.
Oh, who else?
Well, Professor Nick Jennings, the Vice Chancellor and President of Loughborough University, is a big supporter of this research.
Oh, wow. He's a really respected figure in the AI world.
He is, and he says that this paper sets the agenda for the next wave of AI development.
Wow, so he really believes in this.
He does, and he thinks it's only a matter of time before it becomes a reality.
So the learner, what are the key takeaways from all of this?
Well, collective AI is all about AI systems that can learn and adapt quickly by sharing knowledge and skills.
And it's not about creating one giant AI that controls everything. It's about creating a network of independent agents that work together.
Exactly. And this has the potential to change everything from cybersecurity to disaster response to healthcare.
And this isn't just some far-off dream. These advancements are being built on real progress in areas like lifelong learning and communication protocols for AI.
So we're talking about a future where AI is not just powerful, but also collaborative and constantly evolving.
It's a pretty exciting future, if you ask me.
It is, and it's a future that's closer than we might think.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you, the learner, with a thought to ponder.
Okay, what's that?
We've talked a lot about how collective AI could change things like cybersecurity and healthcare,
Right.
but what about the bigger picture? What does it mean for our understanding of knowledge itself?
That's a good question.
If we have AI systems that are constantly learning and sharing information, what does that mean for how we learn and how we understand the world?
It's like we're entering a new era of knowledge creation.
Exactly, and it's an era where humans and AI will be learning together.
That's a really profound thought.
It is, and it's something that we all need to be thinking about. So hopefully this deep dive has given you a good understanding of collective AI and the potential it holds.
It's a fascinating field.
It is, and it's one that's going to be shaping our world in the years to come.
I agree.
So thanks for joining us, The Learner, and keep exploring.
See you next time.